All right, and now Israeli archaeology, and I'm going to show you something amazing that you might have missed because it's not a headline news, but it's very, very interesting. And in order to do that, I'll be joined by Moran Hajbi from the Israel Archaeological Authority, an expert actually on the city of David. Is that correct, Moran? Hi, how are you?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Thank you. I haven't heard your last question. So.
I was introducing you as an expert on the city of David.
Yeah, I'm one of the members of the expedition of the city of David and the Davidson Center.
So first of all, just in order to understand, how did you get to this specific expertise to the city of David, to investigating and researching the Jerusalem ancient city?
So first, of course, a lot of patience and a lot of learning. And also, it's with the help of two other members of the expedition who invited me to join the excavations in the city of David. And slowly, while during the years, you're getting experience and you're getting developed, and there's a lot more to learn, but eventually the experience does it all.
For how many years have the Israeli Archaeological Authority been excavating in this area, in the city of David and ancient Jerusalem?
Okay, so the Israel Antiquities Authority is digging in Jerusalem, the city of David, for the past 25 years. The area itself has been dug for the past 150 years. It started back in the 19th century, the research, the archaeological research of the city of David. And recently, in the past 7-8 years, past 7 years, I've been digging there along with two of the other members of the expedition, Dr. Joe Ziel and Nachshon Zanton.
Okay, now let's talk about this amazing coin, beautiful discovery in Jerusalem. Perhaps we can see the coin for a moment and you'll explain what's the story behind this coin.
Okay, so the big story behind this coin is the Bar Kokhba revolt. We have to understand that the Bar Kokhba revolt erupted because of Emperor Hadrian willing to found a new Roman colony in Jerusalem, which is called, we know it today, as Ilia Capitolina. Because of that, the Jewish population of Judea, the land of Israel, started a revolt against him because they did not accept the fact that Jerusalem would come to be a pagan city. One of the things that the rebels did, Bar Kokhba, which was leading the revolt, is to mint their own coins, because the coins are a kind of a mark of declaring I'm independent, I'm minting my own coins. A lot of these coins were found in Judean sites from around Jerusalem, whether it's in the Judean foothills or in the central hill, Judea and Samaria, we call it today. And not a lot of coins were found in Jerusalem. In the archaeological research of Jerusalem, we know a scholar named Dr. Donald Tzvi Ariel checked almost a little bit more than 22,000 coins that was found in Jerusalem, and only 4 of them, including the presented coin, is dated to the Bar Kokhba revolt. And it raised a lot of questions. Why can't we find a lot of coins from the Bar Kokhba revolt? The common conclusion now is that the fact is that Bar Kokhba was not able to conquer Jerusalem, which is one of the targets of the revolt, was to conquer back Jerusalem from the hands of the Romans.
Jerusalem was the center of government of the Roman rule in this area, is that correct?
Well, Caesarea was the central rule, but Jerusalem served as the Legion camp, the camp of the 10th Legion. Right after Josephus Flavius is telling us that right after the destruction, the 10th Legion, which destroyed Jerusalem, set its camp within Jerusalem. Some say it was in the citadel at the Jaffa Gate. Some say it was south to the Temple Mount, where the coin was found. And Jerusalem is basically a Roman camp. That's where the Roman legions went out and fighting the battles against the rebellions of Bar Kokhba. We're assuming that this coin was brought by one of the Roman soldiers that served in Jerusalem. He went to one of the battles, and then he collected it in the battlefield, whether in one of the villages that they just conquered and destroyed. So he brought it back with him. Why does he keep it? Because first, it's looting. That's what soldiers do in the ancient world. But we have to realize that the revolt overwhelmed the Roman world, the Roman Empire. Even Hadrian was overwhelmed so they had to stream forces from all around the Roman Empire. These kinds of coins, three of my teachers, Professor Boaz Zisto, the late Professor Hanan Eshel, and Gabi Barkai, found almost 16 coins that were found all around Europe, which is part of the Roman Empire, in places where we know that the Roman legion sat. So some of these soldiers was brought to Judea in order to fight the revolt, and some of them took back some of these coins as a souvenir or as a looting from the revolt.
And okay, so we understand why is it so rare. Is there a way, you mentioned the other coins, is there a way to verify that the coin is actually authentic and not some kind of a fake?
So first, the coin was found in archaeological context. We found in layers that we're digging. We found while we're digging at the site, at the Davidson Center. And we know a lot of these coins from other sites. So this specific coin, we know it from other sites in Judea, but the fact that it was the fourth that was found in Jerusalem, and the fact that it's mentioned in Jerusalem, as you see on the screen, right under the palm tree, you can see the writing Jerusalem at ancient Hebrew, authenticates this coin, again, because we have a lot of parallel coins, similar coins that was found from the Bar Kokhba revolt. Again, this what makes it unique is the fact that we found it within Jerusalem.
Yeah, and that's amazing. I have to admit, I saw the photograph of the coin, and even though, well, we know how ancient Hebrew letters look like, I was looking at it and found it very hard to see the letters themselves, and it wasn't with your assistance. I wouldn't have been able to figure it out, but now we prepared this slide, and you can actually, once you know what to look for, you can actually see the inscription, you can actually see the letters, and we put them actually in Hebrew, you write right to left, but we put it here on the slide, left to right, in order to match it to, let's say, the Latin name of Jerusalem, and you can actually see the letters connect to one another, and you can read the word Jerusalem, and that, in my opinion, is amazing. A beautiful coin. So I have a technical question for you about the minting of the coins themselves. I know that today coins are being pressed into a mold, but that requires a lot of pressure. So I was wondering, how was it done in ancient times in this area? Was it done the same way, or perhaps in other techniques?
It was done almost in the same way. So they will prepare the token itself, which usually were made out of bronze, and then you have to put it on a mint and just basically take a big hammer and just knock it on the mint itself, and then it will press the coin itself. By the way, a very interesting fact about the Bar Kokhba coins, one of the things that the Bar Kokhba rebellions did against the Roman rule, the Roman Empire, is to take Roman coins and mint over the coins. They used to scrape the Roman coins and remove all of the messages that was minted on the coins, on the Roman coins, and that's meant the messages of the revolt itself on the coin is something which was done against the Roman rule. By the way, we found some of these coins that were trying to remint in some sites in Judea. So we know, again, in specific sites, we can know that coins were minted right there. We don't know if it happened in Jerusalem, as I mentioned. We're not sure that the rebellion was able to conquer Jerusalem, but we know that these coins were minted in other sites in Judea.
Well, I understand that you find the coins, but were the tools themselves ever recovered anywhere in Judea and Samaria or anywhere?
The tools itself were not found from other coins, not the Bar Kokhba coins, but other coins. Some of these tools were found, but we know how to reconstruct this technology of minting the coins from all kinds of all kinds of artistic descriptions of these coins. We can able to see the people with the hammer and the dented top making the coin.
Wow, amazing. And one last thing, we hear all the time allegations about the Jewish people not having any historical connection to the land of Israel, perhaps not in the academic arena, but in the public arena, let's say. Now, from your experience, hands-on experience, is there any scientific basis to these allegations?
Well, eventually we're dealing with science and dealing with facts. We have an archaeological fact. They're giving us a story. We're digging in Jerusalem, the layers from all periods of time, and usually it matches the historical sources that we have, whether it's from the Iron Age, which is known as the First Temple period, from the Roman period, which is the Second Temple period, and later periods like the late Roman, Byzantine, and the later Muslim period. Eventually, everything usually correlates together. So, if I'll say this way, eventually everything is verified and everything is known. So I think scientifically there's no debate about who were there and who was not there. And eventually we know that all of the cultures that passed in Jerusalem, and eventually it's imported for them for all the three religions.
Well, okay, Moran Hajbi of the Israel Antiques Authority. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, and if you want to learn more about archaeology, about antiques in Israel in general, and specifically in Jerusalem, you can check out our updates in Newsrael. We keep you updated on the latest news on archaeology in Israel as well.